right, I promised myself I was going to keep this light. I was never going to get political or anything. No polarising opinions just for the sake of it. But there's something I thought about the other day and I can't seem to shake it. I haven't seen a spider in 6 months. Where the fuck are they? Where have they gone? I've asked all my pals. They haven't given me any answers. So where the fuck are they? Where have they gone? Has something happened that there just are no spiders anymore? Welcome to episode 3. This is it, episode 3. Flying through it now. This is the first episode I'm doing that people have actually seen the other ones now, so it's weird, kinda. I tried to do this last night and for whatever reason I was pure like shaking and shit, like nervous. I don't really know why, because nothing's changed. I'm still just talking to myself, and I don't know why I would get nervous because it's really only my pals that have seen it, and I talk to my pals all the time. So strange, very strange, but that happened, and I suppose it's just another thing to get through. But still having fun with it. I enjoyed editing the last one. Figured a lot of shit out doing that. Took me like a week to edit it, so a pain in the arse at points, but it was good. Croft was a good guest to have because I knew he wasn't really going to change for the camera, so that was good. Because that's the worry about getting guests on. I don't know what people are like when you point a camera at them, because I know I'm probably different to what I am in real life, sitting in front of someone. So we'll see what it's like, I suppose, when I get other people on, which is another thing. I need to actually sort my next guests. I think the format I'm going to try and do is just like have one myself, next episode with a guest, and then so on and so forth, because I think it's important that I learn how to do them myself, because if I just keep having guests on one after the other, then I won't really be able to, I'll not really ever get good at talking myself, which I think is something I kind of want to get good at. So I'm going to do that. But yeah, the last one was fun. We did it on a Saturday morning. I'd rather do them all at night time, but that was the only time we could get it done because he works pretty much all the nights. So, but that's good. I did the last episode with 2 cameras, and upon reflection, it's a bad idea because we were both just fucking like that the whole time, and it would make sense if I was constantly able to switch between them, but with the facilities that I've got right now, I'm not really able to do that. So I'm just going to stick it to one camera now, and just keep the audio on the laptop to save confusion. That way we're looking straight at this the whole time, and shit's good that way, I think. These episodes, I think I'm going to talk about like what shit's going on in the world, and also the shit that's going on with me, to be honest, because I don't have someone to like bounce off of, so I can't have a conversation. So I've kind of looked at what's going on in the news, and there's endless amounts of fucked up shit going on. But I want to try and keep it light, so I don't really want to bring politics and shit in it. So kind of just pick at pieces and see what lands, I suppose. One thing I did notice though is Kirsty Allsup, famous property TV personality person, the one that like goes and helps people, landlords do up fucking properties. She's came out and said that young people can buy properties if they just cut out Netflix and going on holiday and that. But that's not true. She also said that if you move to a cheaper neighbourhood that you can afford a house, which is also not true, because if you took out Netflix, you would have an extra £10 a month or something, 15 maybe. I don't fucking know what it is. I don't pay for it because Taylor does. So she's daft, and it was funny, man. I read the article and it turned out that she got her first house at 21, so everyone's like, oh, what's happening here? And then you go along, you get a couple lines down, and it's like, oh, rich parents, and it's like a £50,000 fucking investment for a dad or something. Which is like, come on in, you must know this is coming by now. So like, she's very stupid. But I'd love to have her on this show. I think that would be really good for my status. And I think it would have a really good conversation with her. So I might add her in the description. And no, I won't. But still. It did make me think of the Paris Hilton meme where she's wearing that "stop being poor" thing. In fact, what I'll do, editing thing, I'll cut that in right in front of me, because I can do that. I've actually written a list of all these things rather than just completely fucking freeballing, spitballing rather. So my other thing that I wanted to talk about, holy shit, is amazing, right? See the family that went to Jamaica, I think it was a mum, a daughter and the granny, went to Jamaica and they went on a Bob Marley tour, and obviously I think they've taken space cakes or something, edibles or whatever, on this fucking bus tour, and for whatever reason, I think it's just they've got a predisposition to it. They've went fucking mental. The mum and the daughter. I don't think the granny took any space cakes, so good for her. She remained sane and kind of solved the whole situation, I think. But the mum and the daughter went fucking insane on the bus and were posting Instagram stories saying that they were getting human trafficked by this bus of holiday makers. It's funny just thinking about it, but it's really like, I've hit badgins before on edibles and I kind of see where they're coming from. Like, your head goes places, but what I don't understand is how the mother and the daughter both went to the same place and convinced each other that it was both happening to them. Like, how does that happen? So it must be like the same chemical reactions happened with them and the same shit's happened. Fucking crazy, right? But one of them tried to jump out the bus and the whole thing sounded like chaos, right? But one thing I thought of is like, imagine you're just a stoner going on that Bob Marley tour, which I imagine 90% of what that bus tour is stoners just going for a giggle, right? Most of them would be high as fuck. So if you're sitting on that bus and all this chaos is going around you, imagine the badging you would hit. You'd be like, nah, fuck this. You'd want to jump off the bus. So I did think about that and I was like, oh fuck man, fuck being there when you're high. But apparently that's all been resolved. They weren't being human trafficked, and I think they were enjoying the holiday the next day, seeing them at other people seen them at breakfast the next day and they were on the phones and eating breakfast apparently. So a crazy day. I can't imagine they had a very fun night, but fuck it. Other things happening. Isaiah Rashad, he's an American rapper, if you don't know who that is. Really good album came out last year, end of last year I think. And he has had a video leaked of him performing oral sex on someone, and I think he's been outed as gay as a result of this, and supposedly he's losing a lot of fans over it because he's like from the hood and shit, and that's not very hood of him or whatever, which is really shite thinking about it, because it's 2022, you know. You shouldn't really be losing fans for being gay in this day and age. Like, what did George Michael and Elton John go through just for this shit to keep happening, you know? Anyway, I'm on a tangent. But that's quite shite. On the other end of the spectrum though, of recordings of sexual misconduct, Mason Greenwood's in the news for being a rapist. So he should be in jail. But he's not, which is insane. So, well, I think he's out on bail or something, which is what happens to rich people, I suppose. Not really much to discuss about that, to be honest. Like, should be going to jail. I don't know if they will, but that's that. Kurt Zuma kicking his cat about. Oh, that was a tough watch, and I'm not a big fan of cats, to be honest. But Jesus, why the fuck is he booting his cat? Like, even if his cat's done something, like shat in the house or something, like, get a telling off, you know, fucking start booting it. And then, like, his son was in on it as well, which also is fucking me up a little bit. Like, so that means his son's gonna grow up with the same fucked relationship with animals as he does, and just be all serial killery. But yeah, that's pretty much it in regards to like current events that's going on not that I care about, but that I want to talk about. I don't want to just be like a fucking news broadcast that brings you the news that you already know like 5 days late. So in regards to the podcast, I don't really know what to do with regard to like promoting it, because I think at some point, maybe now, I should start promoting it, and like, because in order to like start getting guests on and shit, people need to know about it. People need to know it exists. Otherwise, there's no incentive for like certain people to come on it. So I suppose I do kind of need to rip the band-aid off and just put it out there. I've made the Instagram account for it, but I've not done anything with it. I just need to kind of post this everywhere and say whatever, like the first 3 episodes are out or whatever. So I may do that. I really want to make merch, but there's not much point in me doing it now because nobody's seen it yet. So it'd be kind of stupid. But I suppose there's no like harm in making designs and shit. Because I think it'd be cool to have like a hoodie that even I could just wear when I'm on it. Not on it, but on the podcast. You know what I mean? Could wear it when I was on it as well, but then I'd get baby all over it. It's a terrible idea. Because right now I'm just wearing whatever. But do I want to brand this whole thing? Do I want to turn it into a whole corporate brandy thing. I don't know. But if you have any suggestions of what the fuck I should be doing here, then let me know, because you might have a better idea than me, and I might take it on board, because what do I know? What the fuck should you know about cameras? I want to get a neon sign, but they're pretty fucking expensive. So I'll maybe make that like a milestone. Maybe when I get to like 50 episodes or something, I'll get a neon sign. Or maybe 100, I don't know. That's if I even get there, eh? Whole place could burn down. Could get cancelled. I want to get a musician on. So when people see this and they think I'm a musician, then more on. Because I want them to play something. I think that would be cool. I want to set that kind of precedent. Not that it's not been done before, but I want it on here, you know. I might have a shot. I've got plastic shot glasses on. There's not really much in the way of shotting though, is there? Bad run. Fuck it. I try my best. I think I'm spooked by knowing that people have watched this. And I didn't really ever put it out there. I didn't say, oh, watch this. Just one of my pals found it, and then other people found it through that, but that's okay, I suppose. It's not that I didn't want them to see it, because they were going to see it eventually. They knew I was doing it at some point. So that's okay. It might end up being a good thing, because who knows when I would have ended up putting it out, so. Not too bad. Might do a podcast where it's just me taking shots. Because I reckon I could get pretty far. I mean, my record's like 27 or some shit. That was over a full day though, so when you're just doing a podcast, I don't know, probably like 50. There's lots of different directions I can take this thing in. But it's too early to like explore them, I think. Another thing that's kind of holding me back is like the software I have. Like my laptop, when you're editing an iMovie, like as soon as you want to edit like the fucking original clips, like as soon as you do anything to them, the playback just goes all choppy and shit. So you need to be very careful with all that pish. Which is very annoying. But I'll figure it out. That's part of the challenge, it's part of the fun, to be honest. Occupies the time. I also don't know if I should really be just recording myself, to be honest, because like, is this fun for people to watch? Probably not, but am I doing it for them? Also no, but is it going to grow the podcast, which is kind of what I'm looking for, ish? Isn't that the whole purpose of it? I don't know. I'm very confused by the whole thing, to be honest. What you've got is a guy sitting here doing a podcast and he doesn't really know why he's doing it. Well, he knows why he's doing it. He thinks there's some sort of mental health benefit to it, but he's not sure where the motivations are. I'm talking about myself in third person because I'm stupid and I'm one of the guys, like Anthony Fauci. That guy, fuck man. If you disagree with Anthony Fauci, you disagree with the science. Terrible impressions. Speaking of impressions, the best guy at impressions in Scotland is John Mackenzie, and I will hear nothing to the contrary. His Billy Connolly impression is like the best thing I've ever fucking heard in my life. It's like he put up a fucking Twitter clip of him doing it, and like, amazing. Personal life wise, shit's been going pretty well this week, at least. Been going to the gym every day, and having good food and looking after myself, I suppose. Which is good because then I come in here with a better sort of attitude. It's easier to come in here. I'm not like pretending that I'm happy. I'm actually quite content rather than pretending. Because sometimes there's some days that I set out to record this podcast and I'm really not in the fucking mood. I wake up and I'm like, fuck this. I'd rather lay in my bed and watch TV or some shit. Or just fucking sit on my laptop and apply for jobs or whatever, but that's not the attitude to have if you want to fucking do something like this. The trick is to keep doing it, and I said that in the first episode, and I don't know why I'm shying away from fucking doing it over and over again. I feel like I'm tricking myself into being lazy again and just pieing it. So I need to just get a fucking routine going of just recording and recording and recording, and eventually it'll become habitual and I'll be good at it eventually. Nah, maybe not, but we'll see. I think we'll wrap up episode 3 there though. Thanks for listening. It's a short one again, but that's because I'm just sitting talking to myself. I'm not really sure how to make these longer. There probably is a way I could format the whole thing and make it better, but I don't want to end up scripting the fucking thing. That way it's less authentic and unlistenable in a sense. You might think it's unlistenable now, but who cares? Guess we can just all look forward to the next guest that's on. So yeah, thanks for listening.